So the Oppo Reno 10x zoom may possibly have the worst name since the HTC Cha-Cha, but luckily it's actually a pretty damn good smartphone, packing premium specs and a very capable camera. Although that £700 price point does mean it's more expensive than some rivals such as the Asus Zenfone 6, and it also costs the same as the rather excellent OnePlus 7 Pro. So does the Oppo Reno 10x zoom do enough to make it a worthwhile purchase? Well, I've had my SIM stashed inside for about a week now, and here is my full in-depth review. And for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech, please do subscribe and ding that there notifications bell. Cheers! So for a start, I love the look of this smartphone. That gorgeous polished glass finish looks proper premium and also stays smart over time, as it's impressively resistant to finger marks, greasy smudges and stuff like that. It may look pretty, but this Oppo Reno handset is reasonably tough too. The arse end is coated in Gorilla Glass 5, while the screen is even hardier thanks to the Gorilla Glass 6 protection. There's even a wee ceramic nubbin thing to help protect the back when you lay the phone down on a surface. You do get this slightly bland case bundled in the box with the Oppo Reno 10x zoom, but I decided to leave this off the entire time I was testing it just to see how rugged it really was. And for the first few days it held up pretty well, but now there is a wee scratch running alongside the camera chassis, actually not that wee at all, so I would definitely recommend slapping on some kind of cover to keep it all looking pristine. And sadly there's no official IP rate or any kind of water resistance, so definitely don't go taking it into the bathtub with Ducky. There's a solid heft to this Oppo phone too, as it weighs in at an impressive 215 grams. Drop it on your toe and you will bloody well know about it. Now, one of the most charming features of the Reno 10x zoom is the pop-up pivot camera, which rises majestically from the top in a possibly slightly sexual manner. It's a quick and smooth motion, and Oppo has built-in free fall protection as well to prevent any damage, which works perfectly every time. I cannot flummox it. And also, thankfully, the motor doesn't seem to be too bothered when you accidentally activate the camera when the phone is in your pocket, something which I somehow managed to do quite a lot. And this funky design isn't just strangely satisfying, it also means that the screen itself is unencumbered with any notches or pinhole cutouts, so you get a glorious full view finish. It is 6.6 inches of unadulterated joy, and you can definitely stick that one on the posters for free, Oppo. The AMOLED tech means in-your-face colours and sharp contrast to rival the likes of the OnePlus 7 Pro, even if you don't quite get the same 90Hz refresh rate. And although it's only Full HD resolution rather than Quad HD, you can still expect sharp detail when streaming movies, playing with your pics or whatever. That optical fingerprint sensor is also one of the better ones out there. It works pretty much all of the time, even when your fingers are a bit mucky. And the face recognition is also a very reliable alternative, as long as you're not wearing sunnies or a weird hat or anything. And there's only a short wait, thankfully, for that camera to pop up and then bugger off again. And although it is technically a stereo speaker setup here on the Reno 10x zoom, the majority of the sound is definitely blasted out of that bottom firing speaker. So, for instance, to cover it up, you'll find that the audio is immediately really wilted and about as powerful as a Beatles fart. And dang it, there's no headphone jack here either. It's dongle all the way, I'm afraid. On the software front, you get Oppo's ColorOS 6 launcher slapped on top of Android Pie. It's a very colourful UI, which really makes the most of that punchy AMOLED screen. And thankfully, unlike MIUI and the like, you can actually introduce an app store to tidy up your desktops. I'm pretty happy with ColorOS in its latest incarnation. I don't feel I need to slap on my own launcher or anything. It's relatively inoffensive and actually adds some pretty decent tools as well, including some anti-harassment features, some great gesture control, and kid space as well, which is great for preventing your little cherubs from accidentally finding your portable porn stash. I've done a full video review tour thing on ColorOS 6, so check that out if you want to see all the new features and all the best bits in there. Now, while the standard Oppo Reno makes do with Qualcomm Snapdragon 710 platform, this 10x zoom model upgrades that to the premium Snapdragon 855, which is ideal for gaming and any other resource hogging tasks. You've got the Game Boost 2.0 tool on there, which can help to allocate resources to your games, just give performance a little boost, but to be honest, that's not really needed. The Snapdragon 855 can more than easily handle a nice bit of PUBG Mobile or something like that. However, Game Boost does also add in a nice bit of notification culling, which is always good. You can prevent phone calls from coming through, but you've also got fast access to the likes of your WhatsApp and your Facebook Messenger if you want them. And when things get rather intense, the Reno 10x zoom does not get too hot. Oppo has used a variety of cooling techniques, including some copper and graphite internals, to basically help that heat to dissipate. So even when the Oppo Reno 10x zoom is plugged in during a lengthy gaming session, it copes really well. In fact, the only time the Reno actually got a little bit toasty during that previous week of testing was when I accidentally had it recording 4K video in my pocket during a drunken discotheque session. Cue clip. battery life is also a winner thanks to the mighty 4000 mAh cells stashed inside. I never saw this drained by the end of a busy day, not even with plenty of media streaming and a decent bit of gaming or camera play thrown in. Sadly, there is no incredible super VOOC charging tech on board here on the Reno 10x zoom, but the standard VOOC 3.0 charge does an absolutely fine job of filling you back up in very little time indeed. And last up, the camera tech, one of the most exciting bits of the Reno 10x zoom, as if the name wasn't already a massive bloody giveaway. Here you get a 48 megapixel primary lens with a 1.7 aperture and the popular Sony IMX586 camera sensor, and this does a solid job in all kinds of tricky conditions for your photo and video capture. But of course, the main headline grabber here is that periscope style zoom lens with a similar design to the Huawei P30 Pros, capable of shooting 13 megapixel images from afar. I have fully reviewed the Oppo Reno 10x zoom camera in a separate video, so go check that out for all you need to know about the photo and video capture and also all of the various features. And so, after a full week of using the Oppo Reno 10x zoom as my personal handset, would I recommend it? Well, it is a solid all-round smartphone despite that emphasis on the camera tech. You get premium performance, dependable battery life and respectable media chops, all bundled up in a slickly designed handset. Of course, if you're after great camera tech and perhaps a more stock Android experience, plus a solid all-rounder in terms of the performance, battery life and everything else as well, you might want to check out the Asus Zenfone 6 as well. It costs a couple £100 less than the Oppo Reno 10x zoom, and it's definitely one of the standout handsets of 2019. So that's what I think right there of this brilliant Oppo premium flagship handset. But what do you reckon? Are you tempted? Definitely chuck your thoughts down below, it'd be great to hear from you. And please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech. Cheers everyone, love you!